Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our International Prop Chat episode 31. Before we start, I would like to wish everybody Happy New Year. Hope you have a great year ahead. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay at home. So let's my other partners to share their New Year greeting with you. Danny?
Hi everyone, I'm Danny from IQI International Sales. Now, 2020 is a tough year for us, and we managed to get through it, right?
Yes.
So I hope that this year we can start traveling again, and then we can have a vaccine coming soon. And also, may everyone stay safe for this period of time. Happy New Year.
And I wish the joy and happiness that comes to you in this new year and will stay with you forever and all your dreams through healthy and prosperous new year.
Happy New Year, everyone. And just to echo what Danny has said, 2020 was filled with challenges. But we are thankful we have endured all challenges and now we are in 2021. So let us look forward to a better 2021 and I hope everyone is well and safe at home right now.
Yep, that's good. Okay, as usual, we normally have this sharing on every Friday, 9:30 at night. So for those who has been joining us since last year, please feel free to share our program with your friends, all right, every Friday, 9:30 at Facebook Live at IQI International Sales. So for those who have new to this our program. So my name is Mandy and I have my partner here with me, Danny, Sue, and Angela. So today we're gonna share very interesting sessions to talk about the investment opportunities and the potential of these three countries. As you can see from the poster, we are talking about Australia, Canada, and UK. Okay, so before we go into details, so maybe let's my partners will share with you on the individual countries why we should invest in that country as well. Angela, you want to start with this first?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll choose London because, England's capital is one of the world's most crucial financial hubs and a leading tourist destinations, and global leaders in research, technologies, and with the standard of the high educations and good public transportations. And most people bought London properties mainly once place for their children who are studying there. So they have more options for good ranking college or universities in the world, such as Imperial College London, universities are College London and London Cities of Economics, and are of course the King's College London. And often parents want the best future for their children. And in other words, that it means that putting them in the best schools. Then again, like I say, is that these days, although they are not able to travel, but a lot of people are still on online studies.
Yep, especially you talk about UK. Okay, UK is probably one of the favorite countries where parents like to send their children for further educations. All right, and also one of the top lists when it comes to traveling. Okay, a lot of people would love to visit London. Unfortunately, we can't visit now. All right, and I'm sure everybody was quite familiar with London. I think I've been asking a lot of friends and even my customers, and when they talk about UK, definitely they will mention about London. On top of London, other cities like Manchester, Liverpool, these are those football fans that definitely love these two cities, and Birmingham as well. Okay, so I'm sure everybody familiar with UK. So what about Australia? Sue?
Well, I'm sure most of the audience here today also will have certain friends or relatives that's residing in Australia. Australia is no stranger to our Malaysian, and in Australia itself, about 100 and more than 120 1,000 people from Malaysian are now residing in Australia. And every year, Australia receives like 2,000 to 3,000 migration application and approve this between 2 to 3,000 people in terms of new migration. So, in terms of economy, Australia has enjoyed a 28 consecutive years of annual economic growth. Therefore, that is one of the big indication that the economy is doing well. But I think this year they will have a slight step back. Yeah. And in terms of international trade and investment, Australia is one of the biggest exporter in the iron ore, coal. So they are the second largest global exporter of liquefied natural gas. So they are really rich in resources, and the country is really rich in their natural resources. In terms of education, like Angela has mentioned, UK is one of the top, but Australia is not very far behind.
Yep.
Australia has many university that is ranking top universities like University of Melbourne, University of Queensland, University of New South Wales, and Monash University. They are all well-known universities, and it is ranked sixth of the best education system in the world. Okay, and last but not least, Australia, many of the Australia cities, 3 to 4 cities actually are often named as the most livable cities. Yeah. So none others than the Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth. Actually, four cities always fight among themselves to be one of the top 10 most livable ranking in the world. So yeah, Australia is a beautiful country, and I love Australia.
Yeah, for me, I love Australia as well. Before pandemic, I used to travel Australia quite often as well. And in fact, among these five major cities, okay, I personally like Perth a lot, all right. And second will be Melbourne. And again, like Sue mentions, that education is also another choice for the parents to send their kids over, especially you talk about the distance. To Perth is probably only take about 5 hours, and there's no time difference. But to the I would say Sydney and Melbourne, you take a bit longer flight, which is 8 hours. But again, it's close to us, close to Malaysia. Therefore, this is again another choice for the parents to send their kids over. And I still remember, I think 10 to 20 years ago, a lot of investors is actually investing properties in Australia. And in fact, I would say 20 years ago, whereby they buy one property, they can actually get PR. But unfortunately, right now, there's no more this kind of story.
Yeah. Grab whatever opportunity you have now instead of regretting later. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, what about Canada? That's the furthest away.
Yes, Canada is the furthest country that we have today. And why Canada? Now, a lot of us, we actually like the quality of life in Canada, and of course, Canada being the same as UK and also Australia, there's a lot of students, some of my friends, they actually went there to study and then they never come back to Malaysia anymore. And for Canada, it's been a hot spot for migration since the early 80s to 90s. A lot of people from Hong Kong or from China, they actually migrate to Canada, especially Toronto and Vancouver. So for me, is that Canada is a stable country. Political stability is very important right now, right? Especially what we saw happening in US these 2 days. And also, I think this will give a lot of the investors a peace of mind. Then for Canada, it's also because of the banking system, okay? So the mortgages rate is actually relatively low. For example, Royal Canada Bank actually offers mortgages around 2.45%. Yeah, Malaysia, we do not have that. So a lot of the Malaysians, they actually refinance in their houses in Malaysia, so they actually buy cash in Canada. So I think Canada has a lot of potential, include even though we have a very bad year in 2020, COVID, everyone cannot travel there, but still, the transacted amount of the houses went down, but actually the total transaction price is still more or less the same. Prices did not go down, actually. Prices actually increased around 4 to 6%, depending on area. And also, we have a very strong rebound from the China market. Last year is because of COVID, a lot of their children cannot study there. One of the main buying force is to buy house for your children to study in Malaysia. In Canada. So I think this year we will actually have an increase around 10 to 15%. That's the forecast that we have, provided, of course, we have the vaccine available.
Yep, and when we talk about Canada, one thing we remember is Niagara Falls. Okay, again,
Yes.
it's very beautiful. And of course, second thing I thought of is the weather. It's very cold, the weather.
Yes. And all the maple leaves you have, land of maple.
Yeah, that's right. And again, I think Asians like Canada as well, especially you talk about China and Hong Kong. A lot of people actually migrating to Canada.
Yes.
I think that I would say the standard of living is actually quite good there. Okay, and even we know a lot of those Hong Kong actor actresses also either they married in to Canada or they actually migrate to Canada as well.
Or actually, they are from Canada, Vancouver.
Yeah, that's right. So when you talk
Toronto.
about Vancouver and Toronto, you definitely think of Hong Kong people would love there.
Yes. From this past 10 years, other than Hong Kong or the Asian countries, they actually built up a very diverse and supportive society in Canada because, of course, there's low corruption there. Safety is one thing, and they have one of the least discriminative society. So everyone can just go there and share their culture and be themselves. And also, I forgot to mention that Canada is one of the most attractive country for entrepreneurs to start their business there, especially in tech. Yeah, in Toronto is actually the tech environment of tech startup is actually very good because of their progress that they did in the AI sector. So Canada actually blooming to become one of the global place for it's like the Silicon Valley startup scenes there. So we have that as well.
Yep. Oh, that's very interesting. So for those who probably can vote, which are your favorite country among these three? A for Australia, C for Canada, U for UK. So for those who have joining us, so maybe you can just vote which is your favorite country. So let us see, then we can talk more about this country. All right, so again, it's like we have a brief introductions. It's like why these three particular countries is potential and there is so much opportunity for us to invest as well. So as an investor, we normally likes to know that what is the overall economic growth for that particular country, and of course what is the investment criteria, especially you are the foreigner as well. So over in this program, we are just trying to share a little bit on more like a summary. It's like why these three particular country is so attractive to foreigner. So okay, of course, with the current situations, we are talking about the pandemic. So perhaps you want to enlighten us. It's like what is the situations right now in all these three particular country? Maybe Sue, you can start first.
On the pandemic side, Australia started with a quite a strict lockdown. So to date, actually, the pandemic is very well controlled. If they have approximately about 0.1% infected, and they have gone through about 10 million tests so far. Just to give that number a bit of perspective, their overall population is sitting at about 25.5 million. So they are almost like halfway done, like the half of the population has been tested for COVID. So their testing is really effective. And initially, when they started, of course, they have quite a strict lockdown. So though all the non-essential services were not were closed, and then only the essential services were allowed to operate, and then they have effective social distancing and the isolation of people with a virus and the close and their close contact. So initially, so when it started, also they also kept the interstate border closed, and but it was recently removed, the border closed interstate in November last year. So right now, at this present time, Australia's border is still pretty much closed to visitor. So we don't have a chance to visit yet. But the news is that they are considering relaxing slowly with the restriction, and also considering to open up in March 2021. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed that we can visit after March this year, and hopefully by then our borders is open too.
Can't wait to travel to Australia again. What about Canada right now?
Well, of course, Canada is being locked down right now. Okay, no one can travel. But previously, I think around October to November, they actually allow some of the students to went back to Canada. But of course, they are doing home study, just online courses. But of course, holiday season, they have a spike of the COVID cases. I think it's around 7,000 plus average per year. So average per day. So I think some places like Quebec, they actually did a curfew where you're not allowed to go out around 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Yeah, so they are working on it, but fortunately, they actually did half of the population are tested for it, so they are working quite well on this. But of course, the people have to do their own job as well, because holiday seasons in especially Christmas, yeah, that's the spike.
Yeah, you are talking about during the winter time. That's where the hype is actually coming, and whereby there's
Yes.
more COVID cases that is actually increasing. Okay, what about UK? UK, I heard that it's currently locked down, right?
Yes, it's still locked down. And of course, in schools in London remain closed and still in a lockdown position due to the pandemic. But however, let's not talk about the COVID that situation, because every country is actually trying to keep very safe. I would say that the property market are still looking good due to the lowest bank interest rate, urging for the first home buyers mysteriously looking into the new homes. The government is actually encouraging them, to buy new homes. Therefore, the interest rate is pretty low. And of course, not to forget, on the 8th of July 2020, the announce of the temporary stamps duty holidays then cut the rate of stamp duties into 0% of all properties on 500,000 and under till 31st of March 2021. Imagine huge saving. Therefore, many investors wants to take disadvantage to the stamp duties holiday savings, and of course counting on the pounds and sterling to ultimately strengthen on the London market to bounce back in time. It is therefore this is the right time to buy properties in London. So do so this year, and it will bring you best long-term value.
Yep, and a lot of news and articles that it mentions that interest rate is the history low in UK. And of course, you talk about property price is actually rise up to a 6-year high at the end of 2020, according to the nationwide, and the percentage is actually above 7% over the year. So that is crazy. Imagine that everybody was talking about pandemic, market is bad, it's a crisis and all these things, and especially UK people are talking about crisis and everything, but still with the stamp duty holiday, in fact, they actually encourage a lot of first home buyers or even investor to actually join the crowd, and they start buying properties, and lots of good bargains is actually coming out. And also, this is also one of the factors that it's good time to go in, like what Angela was saying. Okay, if people have doubt about UK, how unstable or how risky it is, well, crisis equals to opportunity, I would say. So pandemic is also equals to another opportunity. I'm sure that same goes to Australia, because right now Australia also they do have some stamp duty incentive as well, right? Sue?
Actually, there are different stamp duty incentive in different states. So, for example, like in Victoria, they have slashing the stamp duty into 50%. So you will be able to enjoy a 50% cut in stamp duty until June 2021. So these are all for the newly built houses only. So if investors who are considering or already plan to invest in Victoria at this time, this is a good time to go in. Similarly, in certain in Perth as well, in Western Australia, there are some stamp duty reduction as well. Yeah, up to 75% on the before construction. So that is another one that will give you a very high saving in terms of investing in a pre-constructed property. Yeah.
And I understand from Perth that in fact last year, I think towards end of last year, lots of home buyer actually rushing to actually buy the properties, especially beside the stamp duties rebate, the 75%, they also have some government grants, 25 thousands, and there are a few other incentives for the locals as well. Therefore, it's actually spy up the local properties as well. That one is amazing. Okay, when you say market is bad, no, people are still buying. Okay, people are catching the right opportunity to go in.
Yes, in fact, because of all this incentive, the property market is actually holding up very well, and in fact, the median price generally increased in 0.8%. So, especially in cities like Adelaide, like Brisbane, Hobart, and Canberra. So these are the cities that actually the median price increased. Whereas for Melbourne and Sydney, the prices are still maintaining or a little bit lower. So this is a good time actually to catch in because their prices doesn't come down so often. Yeah, they are quite consistent in the property prices, and this is really a great window of opportunity for you to go in with the slash in the stamp duty, and essentially you will save quite a lot of cost there, to entry cost there to go into the property market right now.
Yep, to invest in Australia is more towards the long-term investment. So normally it would take easily about 7 to 10 years to get the property price appreciate. So again, with current government incentive, the exercise, so it's actually a good time to go in. At least you save a bit on the normal stamp duty. Okay, of course you're talking about foreign state levy. That one you still have to pay. No choice. But again, I would say that if as an investor, if you could save some amount of the percentage, is still considered good though, right? So, yep. What about Canada?
Well, the developers actually offer very good packages, okay, such as guarantee rental return.
Oh,
Because a lot of them, they actually understand that, where right now we cannot get students to rent it, okay, and there's a lot of investors actually have confidence in Canada's market, so they actually giving rental return, guarantee rental return, like for 2 years to 3 years. So averagely they are giving out 5% to 6% per annum, which is, I think, is a good choice because right now the market is more catered towards the local. I'm talking about the rental market. Okay, as an investor, of course, after I bought the unit, I want to rent it out as soon as possible. Especially in Canada, a lot of the projects actually they already built, then sell. So I think this way actually helps the developer to clear off the units quite fast. Like one of the project that we get during mid of November, we actually sold 14 units of them um, before Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, the developer sold 14 units of them. So it's fully sold within weeks.
wow.
The pandemic, of course, is because that they are confident enough that they can rent it out and they can offer the 6% package. And of course, there are still a lot of developers that are giving out such incentives, but the units is very limited. As even though we are in pandemic right now, we can do online presentation. We can have VR house viewing. So we can just go to the actual unit and then to show you around with our phones and Zoom online. So I think that actually helped us to generate a lot of sales in Canada. And people, yeah, when you want to buy a house, a lot of people they actually want to look at the bricks, look at the design, feel. It's like our traditional retail: feel, touch, smell, see. Yeah, so we do all this online, and it gives us a very good return.
Yeah.
And yeah, the market is actually growing fast right now.
But I guess that right now, everyone it's not just foreigner going in. There are all locals are also rushing to buy in, whether in Australia or Canada or what. There seems to, those people who tends to hold on right now is so good. I mean, the bank interest rate is so low and good offers, they're rushing to buy, So to compete with the local, please, foreigner, take notes that,
That's actually very true, because the locals will have the first-hand information,
right?
and they will rush to the sales gallery just to, because the incentives that the developers are giving out is not only catered to foreigners, they actually cater to the local market as well.
Yeah, that's the reason why most foreigner always takes advantage of these so-called, they think that the market has so much to offer, take their own sweet time. Honestly, that's not true, because the local is actually eyeing also, the local also had this so-called priority to go there and see. So don't think, we will supply as much information as possible to meet your criteria, whatever your investment like to. Right, Sue?
Sue, can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, definitely. This is the same case in
Yeah, a bit soft.
Australia.
Yeah, a bit soft.
Okay. Is this better?
Yep.
Okay. Definitely, this is the same case as in Australia, as in the locals are the one, because of the incentive given by their local government. So they are actually taking this opportunity to invest. Even my relatives, a few of my relatives are already and bought properties during this time in Australia. So of course they have the location advantage. Yeah, they are there, but therefore foreigners need to actually catch up and catch on to this time where this kind of opportunity is very hard to come by. Yeah, only happens during this pandemic season. Yeah.
To think about it, isn't it when the local market is strong means at our investor advantage as well? Because can't you imagine that where one particular project or one particular country whereby majority of the buyers are investor. So what would happen if the project was to be completed? I mean, if let's say you were to tell me that particular projects are all local buyers, don't you think that is good? Because we at the end of the days, if we are not going for own stay, we're going to rent it out to the locals as well, isn't it? So if local were to prefer that location or local will buy it means that that is a great location. So isn't it that's a good news for investor? I mean, of course, to me as an investor, definitely I would like to hear that. Don't you think so?
Yes, absolutely. I agree that.
So we
Yeah.
always say that buy where local will buy or buy where locals prefer. When come to rental or even exit will be probably easier for everybody.
Definitely, that's a good reminder to all the investors out there. If you want to buy a property, so do focus in an area where the locals will buy and live there, and not just a project that is designed specially for investment. Yeah.
Okay, so since we've been talking about how great and the potentials, the opportunities in all these respective countries, what are the current projects that's available, which you probably is your own preference that you love it so much that you would like to share with the audience? Perhaps you can just name one or two on a particular country, so at least our audience will be able to benefit from there as well. Canada first?
Oh, okay. Well, for Canada, of course, people normally would think of Toronto and Vancouver. Now, for myself, because I'm exposed to Canada for quite a while, so I actually recommend Calgary in Alberta. Okay, first of all, Vancouver and Toronto, one bather easily will cost you around like 500,000 to 600,000 Canadian dollar. Okay, for an investment, yes, but you still have a lot of costs to pay, such as taxes. Okay, so we don't, as an investors, I don't want to pay additional. Okay, correct. The lower the cost, the better.
Yep.
Higher costs, slower return. Isn't it true? Yeah. So for Calgary, okay, Calgary do not have a land transfer tax, and also they do not have this HST, harmonized sales tax. So HST in Ontario is around 13%.
Oh,
So for example, you are paying 600,000, you're gonna pay extra 13%, which is around 78,000 Canadian dollar. It will take you quite a while to get back that 78,000 return. So what we're trying to do is to minimize the cost. So therefore, I'm choosing Calgary because for this past 5 years, it is a hotspot for migration as well. Not only from Hong Kong and all around the world, but it's also the locals. Okay, I would say the Canadians, they actually choose to live there. That Calgary has one of the highest wages in the whole country. So basically, we are looking into skilled workers that's staying there, and also professionals where they actually earn high income. But the real estate is not that peak yet, the prices. So you have a lot of rooms for improvement. And also, you do not have rent control. So if Mandy likes the place so much and she rent it from me, 1 year later, I can increase her rental. The next year, I can increase her rental as well.
oh, okay.
So it's actually more beneficial to the landlord. Now, let me quote other countries such as Japan. If your tenant do not agree for a rental raise, you cannot raise it until the gap between the market and also your current rental fee reach a quite ridiculous gap. Then you can actually apply and you start going to the local council and start doing your talking, negotiation, all this. But in Calgary, you do not need that. Okay, so you can raise, and it's a very stable resale market. Every year, the GDP growth of Calgary is around 2 to 3%, which is quite healthy. Because in Canada, we all know it's already the standard of living compared to Malaysia is already quite high, and they are very stable. Okay, so the project that we have here is by Truman. Okay, Truman Group is a Alberta developer. Okay, they develop a lot of houses in Alberta. So estimated the worth of the developments that they have is around 4 billion Canadian dollars. So they are here for a long time already. So reputable developer as usual, because in IQI we actually filter through the developers. Yeah. Then the project is called Legends of the Cornerstone. So briefly speaking, is 700 square feet, which is quite big, right? 700 square feet. Okay, what price do you think that 700 square feet worth in Canada?
400,000.
Two bedroom.
Yeah, 2 bedroom. 450,000 Canadian dollar.
No, way lower.
Really?
Yes.
How much lower?
Okay, lower by half. Okay. Yes, I'm not joking. Yeah, you can actually talk to us later. Yeah, if any of you interested in this project, because we have really limited units only. It's like less than 10. Yeah.
And with rental guarantee as well, right?
Yes, and comes with rental guarantee. Okay, this package actually offer during the COVID pandemic, because normally there's no developer will actually give you guarantee rental return, especially at this price, because a 2 bedroom is only 225,000 Canadian dollar. So that is actually very, very affordable.
Well, Danny, you're using figure right now to attract
Yes, of
attention.
course. Of course. Because a lot of the investors, they are actually very sensitive to the figures. But imagine that I'm telling you this is the best buy right now, but I did not tell you what's the price. I did not compare. So you will not get the point for it. Now, yeah, 3 years of guarantee return only during the pandemic time. So every month they will give you back 1,500 Canadian dollar. So estimate your earnings. Okay, because I do realize a lot of the developments they actually give guarantee return, but your cash flow is not positive. Agree? So this one actually gives you positive cash flow for the first 3 years. So every month you get back around 300 Canadian dollar after deduct every single operating costs. Okay, such as the property management, the tax, insurance, all these things, repair, maintenance. So you still get a 326 Canadian dollar back every single month. So just imagine that for the bigger value is that within 3 years, you get back around 70% of your house.
Buy.
That's why I do not have a lot of units. Okay, it's in northeast of Calgary. Okay, the whole development, the whole area is actually by Truman. It's called Cornerstone. They have a few projects there, but they already built that, so you do not need to worry that you have to wait. Okay, and you will not have any issues regarding of signing SPA, or of course viewing. If you insist to go there, then too bad, but we will show you the VR tour. Yeah, this is one of the most valuable buy that I can offer. Starting for 2012, we want to start the year great, isn't it? We want our viewers to benefit from our research, and also our because we go through a lot of developers before we get this. And of course, this is because we negotiate with the developers and say, pandemic, we try to help out the investors.
In fact, I would say Calgary is a nice place to stay too, right?
Yeah, it's the communities is built up by locals as well. So you cannot expect when you go to Vancouver, Toronto, you see a lot of foreigners there, right? So in Calgary, it's not so. It's still a very local community. But for this past 5 years, people is coming in because they found out that why would I spend 700,000 to get something in Toronto where I can get this? Yeah,
Yep, because with that, I think if you enter in the price relatively lower, then your rental yield will be higher. And don't forget, Calgary has the highest concentrations of the high-tech workers of the whole Canadian city. So again, this
correct.
is a good point. Therefore, a lot of locals that start moving to Calgary because the cost of living is much lower compared to Toronto and Vancouver. And also Calgary is a home to a lot of corporate head offices in the city in the Canada. And I read an article before, he mentions that it's more than 56 small and medium businesses actually operate in Calgary. So therefore, it's a great opportunities, lots of potentials, and definitely the price will go up eventually. So this is again a good spot. In fact, a lot of China and Hong Kong people are start looking into Calgary right now. So don't miss the boat, okay? Even though you might not heard of Calgary, okay, compared to Toronto, Vancouver, okay, or Montreal, okay. But let's do some research, okay? You can actually Google a bit. In fact, Calgary have a lot more to tell, lots more potentials to go on.
Yes, highest salary per employee in Canada. So it's good to get a job there as well.
So actually, the end of the day is still the preference of the countries and the locations from the investors and clients, whether there's a purpose for moving there or it's a purpose of just investing and get returns. And of course, the last one is the children's educations.
Yes.
So talk about this, Angela. So on the UK side, which are the projects that do you
Oh,
like?
mine is the most highest price. Okay, in terms of pounds and sterling, it's always the highest. Okay, I would say that quarter better seas is not too bad, and it is actually set to become a new landmark comprising studios 1 to 2, 3 bedrooms, and it's actually set within private landscapes, gardens, and just a moment from the River Thames. And it is only 23 stories. 130 units, and I think because this place is actually located at the London Zone 2. So again, 8 minutes walk to the stations, and whatever in London, we're talking anything about properties, we always try to look at the places or apartments or any location that is close to the tube, so that is the best ways for you to connect stations to the city in any way, okay? And why did I mention Zone 2 is because most of the time, everyone knows that Zone 1 is pretty expensive. But yet, this Zone 2 is also a good time for you to go in, especially at this time. This really time, and the price started from 510,000 onwards, and it's about 421 square feet. I'll use back the square feet, okay, since this is a Malaysia way. And for people who wants to look into getting the stamp duties holidays, this is one of the projects that you can consider because it's going to be soon completed. Okay, and of course, another project I would think about is the Zone 4. Reason why is because when you think of Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4, and that is also one of the zone that is very close to some of the very popular universities. That is the Green Quarter, which is located at the West London. And this Green Quarter is actually a regeneration project, one of the most ambitious project happening in UK right now. Built on an 88 acres former guestwork. The development will create a new community, including 13 acres of parklands, schools, shops, and restaurants, and situated like I say, conveniently in Zone 4, and also very close to the station, which is the Crossrail, and it has great transport links. you can be at the Heathrow Airport in 8 minutes. And come to think about it, Central London is just 17 minutes. So again, this is one of the potential place that you can look into. And another thing is that each apartments reflect the surrounding natures and offer easy access to the cafes, bars, restaurants, as well as everything within your convenient lifestyles. And balcony space provides excellent view of the numerous locations along the Grand Union Canal. I mean, you can see river there. It's so beautiful, and the price is only 322,439 square feet. So if you think about zone 2 is a little bit on the high side, well, zone 4 is also one of the best place that you can think of. All right.
Oh,
So yeah, this is basically I would like, and yeah, in fact, we do have many properties, whether in zone 1 to zone 7, we still have, and of course, Manchester and Birmingham, we still have, you know. So don't worry, this is one of the choices that we choose. Of course, there are plenty and more beautiful ones. Okay, just comes to us.
yeah, when you talk about Queen Quarters, in fact,
Yeah.
by one of the UK most well-known developer, Barclay. So again, Barclay has been around for many years already, and they are well known for high quality furnishing as well. And most of their projects are, in fact, have a great capital appreciations as well. Not forgetting Koda. Koda is actually it has a fantastic view that is actually the river view, and I love it very much as well. So these two projects are actually pretty good. Okay, in terms of the price, it's not too expensive. Location wise, is in fact is a good locations, and I'm sure at the end of the days or giving another few more years, the capital's appreciations will be a hype there, and we probably wouldn't get that kind of price in years to come. Yep. So lastly,
Of course, I haven't finished. I have to touch a little bit on that, okay? Because yes, in terms of I mean, in terms of property, London is always viewed as the safe haven. I mean, with the growing populations, good legal structure, stable market condition, as well as the rental market's demands outpacing supply. I mean, this average properties price growth, I would say right now would be 4%, 4 to 8% per year, especially in a prime area. I mean, rental market in central London's are very expensive. Everybody knows that. I mean, we are talking about starting at around 850 per week, 850 pounds per week. That's why majority of people, parents prefer to spend a little bit more money to buy into the right area instead of renting them. So again, many investors has been building a property portfolio in UK. So it's nothing new. So like I say, it's the best time, okay?
in fact, invest in UK is also one of the top favorite lists when it comes to Malaysians as well. Nowadays, parents would like to buy properties for the kids. Okay, you
Yes.
study there, live in, or eventually they was hoping that they can actually stay there and work there as well. So well, unfortunately, I do not have a parents that who can actually afford to buy me a property in UK or Australia or Canada. So I kind of depends on myself. Okay, for those that who really look into investing abroad, so probably this is the time that you can actually consider. Well, let's go to Australia.
My turn. Anyway, for today's presentation, I chose two properties. Of course, one is from Angela's favorite city, Melbourne. Another
Oh.
one is from myself and Mandy's favorite city. So in Melbourne, I chose this property. It is located at Footscray, and it is west of Melbourne. And the reason why I like this, actually about 10 years ago, I already started looking into west of Melbourne, because the proximity of west of Melbourne to the CBD is really, really close. So it is like about 6 to 7 kilometers away from a CBD. So with that proximity, right, I think sooner or later the place will come out as the CBD area expand. So it will come out. But yeah, the location, the proximity to CBD is one of the big reason. Another, of course, there are other reasons as well, because government are building employment cluster all around in apart from CBD area. So they're expanding to a place nearby west of Melbourne called Sunshine, and then this area will come out as a new employment cluster. Therefore, many jobs will be created, and then you will anticipate investment. They are talking about 31 billion by 2026 to invest the infrastructure from this area to all over Melbourne. So this is one of the project that I see potential. And right now with the in I think in Australia we all are quite aware that the locals are the ones that like to rent, yeah. So so therefore the tenancy, the rental property actually are doing very well. So they have also enjoyed a very low vacancy rate, about 1.9% in this area. And then the demand for this area, about 64% of this population in this area actually are tenants. So the demand is high. Therefore, then there will be strong yield from this area as well, estimated to be about 4.5%. So that is yeah. So that is one area that with government development plans to go on, more jobs will be created, more houses dwelling will be needed, and this is the area that I think that has great potential. So this place that I am going to talk about is called Liberty One, and it is by Benson Property Group Private Limited, and it has about 24-story high, and the price starts from one bedroom. It starts from 350 thousand Australian dollar, and of course. Try to compete with Danny here. We also have promotion.
Yes.
So we have two kinds of rental guarantee. One kind is 25-year lease. Yeah, 25 years. You heard me right.
Wow.
Okay. So
Oh,
the 25-year lease, that is for the apartment, one bedroom apartment. So you can choose to go for this lease, and they will review the rental rates. Yeah, it's not fixed at one rate, but review every few years, and then your rental will increase. Okay, and you can opt out anytime that you don't want to. And the
Oh.
second one is the rental guarantee for 2 years at 5%. So if you are looking at investing in, I know many Malaysians who are buying into Australia are the ones that either planning to migrate, or the ones that planning for the children's education. Yeah. So if you are planning for your children's education, say you can purchase this property, and your children won't be going there in the next 1 2 years time, you can opt for the second one, the get rental guarantee of 2 years, and then yeah, take that 5% until your children are ready to go. Then and this property is like I say, it's west of Melbourne. It takes about 15 minutes drive to get to Melbourne CBD, where the many universities, RMIT and all these are there. And then it take if you it's also very conveniently connected by train, so you will take about 25 minutes to get to the CBD area. Yeah. So this and the completion is completion should be end of this year, so the late 2021. So you have still time to plan for your finances. Yeah, so to if you wish to invest in this property. Okay. And the second property I'm going to talk about is, of course, my favorite city, Perth, Element at the Perth. So this property is called Element, and it is just within walking distance from my favorite shopping mall, Westview Carousel. That is the biggest shopping mall in the whole of Western Australia. Yes, yes, me too, me too, me too. So typically, if I go there every almost like if I live there when I live there almost every weekend I will visit this shopping mall. It's expanding and expanding and expanding until now I can't even recognize it anymore. So so this place, it is only about 15 minutes away from Curtin University by bus. And then also, why I choose this place is because of course, this area in Kennington area also has been identified as one of the development area where the government is going to pour in a lot of investment into this area to build up this area to make it nice in terms of infrastructure, and even like identify Cecil Avenue as a smart avenue of the road and all this. So they have a lot of plans to upgrade this area to make it one of the city, yeah, among the other cities, to yeah. So this area is going to undergo huge development. Therefore, we invest also in the future. Another beauty of this property is that it is also approved for short-term rental. Therefore, in Australia, I'm not sure whether the audience know, not all the properties are allowed for short-term rental. So this one is in particular is approved for Airbnb rental. So if you have you are purchasing in this kind of property in when if you are planning for your children, so you can rent out first, right? So before your children arrive in Perth, then even when your children are taking breaks, now the students come back to home country very often, yeah. So so within the 2-3 months winter break or summer break, you can actually lease out the property, as Airbnb, and make yourself some pocket money for your children to spend, right, using this utilizing this property. So yeah, that's why you can use this property as to generate some income as well. So just to tell you a bit about the property. It is 9 level high with a rooftop garden. It has about 114 units, and each unit comes with one car bay and one storage area. So, and it is approved for Airbnb, as therefore it will have quite high rental returns. And then and also cost wise, it is definitely not high as UK. It's a reasonable entry price. If you're interested, you can find out because the sales is very quick, and we can't keep track of what is the latest number already. So reasonable low entry price. When it was launched, the lowest price was at 298,000 only. Yeah. So now I think the lower prices one has been snatched out already. Yeah. So expected completion date is mid 2022. Again, you have time to plan for your finances. And also, like I mentioned earlier, this property also comes with still eligible for the 75% rebate on stamping duty. So you save quite a lot there already. So but don't wait for too long because this stamp duty is only going to saving is only going to last before the construction starts. Yeah. So so if you decide to that you want to invest in a property there, now is a good time to think about it and to come in. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
This
so,
group,
so today we are talking about savings, savings, and savings. Okay, beside the location is really fantastic. We are now talking about figure and figure and figure.
so Angela, I think you should choose Manchester instead.
Well, Well, my stamps duty savings holidays is still fantastic. I mean, you are talking about buying a property that is 500,000 or less. You are actually paying zero tax. No more. So therefore, it's all the rushing. As I say, it's of course I'm not sure whether they are going to extend this, but tentatively right now is only till 31st of March 2021.
And of course, the best part will be Danny with no tax.
Yes, no tax.
Yeah, we got no HST. But
Yes.
of course, the income tax, that one, we will have our consultants to help you with it. Yeah, we do not have a deadline yet, but subject to availability of the units.
And positive incomes, right?
Yes, positive income. So every month you get back around 300 Canadian dollar for your children's pocket money as well.
Wow.
I think a lot of the parents actually, they should actually plan in the next 10 years. For example, maybe your daughter or your son is around 5 or 6 years old, but in the future, some of them, they will actually go to Australia, UK, or Canada to study. So my advice is that maybe you can start looking into the properties right now, because in the future, 10 years or 14 years, the price will not be the same, and even in the next 5 years, some of the projects that we are selling right now might be double up the price. So it's always good to buy, then wait. Yeah, don't wait to buy.
Yep, especially I'm in this industry for a bit of time. Okay, so it's almost like 9 years already, and has been involved in international sales for more than I would say 6 to 7 years already. And I look at every country, the property price. You'll be surprised. Okay, some is like within 3 years, some within 5 years. Okay,
Yes.
as long as within 10 years, you can see that property tends to have at least a fold. Okay, some probably go all the way up to 200 to 300% already. So
Yeah, come to think about it, like Mandy also says that, and like I says back in Australia many years ago, I mean, they don't have these foreign stamp duties at all, especially you're talking in Perth, right? So right now, too bad.
Yes.
Yes.
I think even
But it's still a good choice,
yes.
a good choice to go in right now.
Yes. I think even you might buy a different country that in the next 10 years. Right now, for example, you're buying UK, but next 10 years your children is going to study in Australia. No worries, you can always rent it out, or you can actually sell it, so you will get the capital gain or the rental to support the education, or if you just like it, you can actually use it to use the income to buy another house in Australia. It will be easier compared to let's save up, and 10 years later I'm going to buy some place in Perth. Who knows, Perth is worth 800,000 compared to right now elements, right? Yeah.
Not only that, Danny,
Right.
you can also, while studying in Canada itself, in some of the states, you can still buy Calgary because it's a positive. It's a positive income,
It's
right?
a positive
and
income.
while the other one is still renting close to the schools or whatsoever, but here you still have some pocket money. Yeah.
Exactly.
So for UK also, we are talking about soon they will impose the foreign stamp duty, which is additional 2%. So again,
Yes.
so if you would to buy after March, okay, come to April, perhaps you are actually paying, I would say double of it, okay, from 3% to 6% or from 5% to 10%, depends on your property value. So again, every investor would love to save the money, okay. I would say, again, this is the right time to go in right now. Don't wait
and don't look and see. Okay, by the time you look and see, there's probably no more to look, no more to see. Okay, all you have to do is you pay everything more.
Yeah, the best time to invest is always yesterday.
Any savings is earnings.
Yes, every saving is earning, especially property. Unlike share market, it will never go to the zero. Okay, property, no matter how bad the economy is, you still have the property with you, and the property price will never go to zero. Okay, so either you stay put as it is, or you wait for a good opportunity, good timing to sell off. Yep. So again, thank you very much for those who are joining us. I hope that you have an insightful evening, okay, with all these informations about why invest in Australia, Canada, and UK. Of course, these are just one and two projects that we are probably prefer, okay, but we have lots more, okay. Within a night, we probably can't share everything, okay.
Yeah, getting more excited already right now. And another thing that I have to highlight, 0.1% right now on the bank rate. Okay, from 0.75 to 0.25 in March right now is the lowest in the record. 0.1 only.
I think even though you would to probably refinance your properties in Malaysia or in other countries like Hong Kong or China, eventually you can still cash out and buy the property from overseas. I would say that it's easier and it's also cheaper as well. So nothing is impossible. So if you have the interest of getting one, so you should look into it right now. Of course, everything you must do your own research as well. We are here to assist you in the events that you want to know more about how to invest in this particular country. You can always go to our Facebook, IQI International Sales, or you can log into our website, iqiglobal.com. Okay, we have lots of information that we could share and lots of more other projects to share. So in the events that you would like to know more, just PM us, okay? Give us your contact number at the comment box, okay? We will get back to you soon. Okay, anything to add before we end the program?
Very
Yeah.
happy, everyone.
Yeah, for me is that just remember, join our IPC International Port Chat, okay, every Friday night, 9:30, because this project is for us to share, okay, the informations that we get and also some of the updates. So we hope that in 2021 we can actually bring in more information to you. And always remember that, in IQI International Sales Team, we actually cater to your need and wants. Okay, we are not just the products that we have is not just those that we promote. We actually have a lot, and we can actually find those that are actually suitable for you. So the most important thing is to communicate with us. Yeah. So from there we can actually advise you, and also we can listen to what you need. Yeah. So
We are
Yeah.
here to invest. We are here to educate you to invest wisely. Of course, with IQI Global, we have lots more to offer. Okay, not only just these three countries, we have other countries as well. So remember to stay tuned with us every Friday, 9:30 Malaysia time. Okay, in the events that you missed all our 31 episode and you would like to watch, you can always go to our YouTube IQI International Sales to watch the replay. All right. So I'm here, Mandy, signing off.
And I'm Angela.
I'm Danny.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night. Stay
Bye.
safe.